Hello and welcome to San Diego Sports Junkies, a show for fans.
By the fans.
I'm Josh Taylor with Justin Speed, and we got Booga P via Skype, writer from BoltBeat.com. He's going to be our new addition to San Diego Sports Junkies. Going to be doing a position outlook
type of segment.
Filling us in as far as week to week, from cornerbacks to safeties to DNs to you name it. He's going to give us the inside info on what's going to be happening in Chargers' future. Booga, welcome to the show.
What's up, Boog?
Hey, thanks a lot for having me, guys. Really excited about this opportunity. Thanks for bringing me in on a regular basis. And all the arrows point to up as far as this show. And I'm honored and privileged to get this thing rolling and do what I can to help out what's already a great show.
I appreciate it, man. Justin and I, we put in some hard work, and, anytime we can get any help on the inside, get another opinion, we're all for it. I mean, that's what the show's for. It's the show for fans.
By the fans.
And we're going to jump right into the Chargers, man. Chargers going to Pittsburgh, get their first win in the regular season ever.
Yes,
we're 0-15 going into Pittsburgh. I know this is a downer year, but that was a huge win, and we finally play a complete game from beginning to end. It was really nice to see.
Yeah. No, for me, outside of the game, watching the game for me, I couldn't be happier with the way they handled the elements. A little cold there. I thought, what the hell? Chargers going to come out and probably play their best ball this week. They're making starts with a makeshift offensive line, 3 guys that haven't been playing. I thought they did a solid job. I thought they handled everything well. Phillip played with no mistakes, virtually a couple hundred yards passing, some touchdown passes. Everything seemed to gel together well for the Chargers Sunday.
Right, and when I say with complete game, to run some stats, 0 turnovers, huge. Offensive line only gives up 1 sack. The defense gets an interception, which he hasn't thrown all year,
right.
Roethlisberger. He hasn't thrown an interception all year at home. We get an interception off of him. We get a lucky fumble recovery for a touchdown.
That was lucky.
And we completely controlled the time of possession. 36 minutes, 46 seconds. It was really a complete game, and it was nice to see.
Go ahead, Boog.
What's your
opinion?
The time of possession was huge. Number one, I still can't believe Pittsburgh called a pass play inside their own 10-yard line where the ball's even going to have the chance of being thrown backwards.
Right.
And we got lucky on that one. And there were some plays in the game that could have led to a different outcome than what we were lucky enough to be a part of. But overall, I don't think there are many complaints you could have about the game. And Josh touched on it. The 0 turnovers and Phillip being smart with the ball and throwing it away for our league-leading 34th time. That's the kind of stuff we wish we would have been seeing all year long.
Right.
Absolutely. And what Justin kind of touched on, our patchwork O-line, they held their own, man. The glue held. They only allowed 1 sack. I mean, it was really nice to see. Phillip gets some time to throw the ball around. He didn't light up, the passing yards, but, he didn't turn the ball over. He got 3 touchdowns. He really moved the ball around between Alexander and Spurlock, especially, man. They've been turning some heads.
Man, how great was it to see Spurlock getting so many first down catches? And getting separation from his defender. I mean, he just got back here with the Chargers, had a week to practice. What a uplifting for the offense. I mean, that's the kind of thing we were expecting from Vincent Brown this year. Spurlock filled in nicely, played a solid game, and couldn't be more happy with the way they played on 3rd down. It was great to see.
Right, yeah, they combined for 14 catches, 152 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Again, they're really turning some heads, especially Alexander. I mean, people are saying, Vincent Jackson 2.0, and, getting Vincent Brown back this next season along with Alexander. Hopefully Spurlock will get another opportunity to better himself. Malcolm Floyd. There is some good things happening. As bad as the season's gone, there is some good things happening and some things to be excited about moving forward.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And one of the best parts for me is we end up having a player like Alexander kind of fall into our laps.
Right.
pick him up off the street. He comes in, makes an immediate impact, gets on the same page with Phillip, which adds to more frustration as far as the lack of a presence from both Meacham and Royal.
Yeah.
I know Royal's missed a lot of games, but when either one were in there, they were dropping more than they were catching. And then to be fortunate enough for Spurlock to get cut and waived by Jacksonville, and we get to bring him back in, a guy who learned our system in the preseason. I mean, we're fortunate to have that happen. Is it too little, too late? Most likely. Mathematically, we're not completely counted out of the playoff picture. I'm not going to hold my breath. And I think that the best thing for us to do is finish strong and show these guys that they have confidence enough that this is something that they could have been capable of doing all year and that they should be doing from game 1 through 16 next year.
Right, and that's the frustration level for me too. I mean, you touched on it, Royal and Meacham. I mean, what a big disappointment this year. Denari Alexander comes in. He's already got 555 yards receiving this year, 8 touchdowns.
Wow.
That is astronomical, and he's just blowing away Meacham and Royal, and they have been a non-factor for the money they've been brought in for. So yeah, that falls on A.J. Smith, and we're going to be presented with a lot of changes here as Charger fans coming up. So we need to get accustomed to this. We need to kind of roll with the tide, and definitely some good things, like Josh said, moving forward.
And guys, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, Booga P's been brought on to add a additional element to what we already have going on here. And we have a new segment called Position Outlook with Booga P. And this week we're talking cornerbacks, Booga. Give us a little insight on what's going on as far as our cornerbacks, now and in the future.
Well, I guess if we can do it this way, I kind of want to ask you guys a question to start off, and I'll tell you how I feel about it after you respond. We've got our 2 starting cornerbacks, Antoine Cason and Quentin Jammer, in the final year of their contracts. Part of it could be that they haven't been re-signed because the I don't want to say attitude, but the idea that A.J. Smith isn't going to be back. Do you guys see those guys in lightning bolts next season?
My opinion, Boog, I don't know if Quentin Jammer can hold up one more season as a cover corner. I think if he's going to be a Charger, he has to move. He has to move to safety. He just can't cover fast guys anymore, and we see that every week. What he is, he's physical off the ball. He jams receivers. He's good at that, altering a route. He's a stud tackler. He's a solid tackler. He always makes a play in the run game.
Yeah.
But I think the time is kind of passing him by as a cover corner. I think the move to safety would be presented to him. Maybe that could happen. I don't know. You probably have a little more insight than I would. But for me, no. I think Quentin we should let him go or move him to safety.
No, I couldn't agree more with Justin as far as the fact that Quentin Jammer has lost a step. He's a great cover guy. He's physical. We all know that, but he's losing a step. And, we have Sharice Wright that is ultimately the fastest guy on our team, period.
Right.
And
he's no Quentin Jammer in terms of weathered, veteran, skilled, but he'll get there. He needs time to not be injured and play football. So
right, and he's got the speed that Quentin Jammer is lacking. And like you said, if Quentin Jammer does get an opportunity, we don't know what's going to happen with Tari Bigby, and we'll get to that next week. But does Quentin Jammer get that role in the safety slot? And if so, does Sharice Wright step in, or do we pick somebody up free agency or through the draft?
Well, as far as Jammer moving to strong safety, it's something that people have been talking about, especially the fans, for the last 2 to 3 years. And although I'm a bigger Quentin Jammer fan, or have continued to be a Quentin Jammer fan longer than most, you guys talked about the slowing down of his speed. He's still physical with receivers. When he gets a guy who's a big physical receiver, he's much more successful when he gets a Mike Wallace or a Denarius Moore, who if he's not able to get his hands on them at the line of scrimmage, it hasn't turned out to work in our favor, which is an issue. Norv Turner, who it sounds like is not going to be back with the team, he's been on the record saying that, he doesn't see a switch for Jammer to strong safety. And whether that be because he thinks it's his skill set, or he just, it wasn't something he would be interested in doing as a head coach. I actually, and I think we talked about this last week, actually saw a tweet from a fan from the team, Clarkinator64, to Quentin Jammer, and Clarkinator64 had asked, would you be willing to help out at strong safety if we need another man in the rotation? And Quentin Jammer said, I'll do whatever it takes to help out. Now, if he meant that on a short-term basis, and that's not something that he wants to do as a pure positional change,
right.
And Quentin, I love you, but man, I don't see him coming back as a Charger. I don't, if he's not willing to move, because he's gonna want more money than what we would pay for somebody who's that backup kind of veteran presence. You don't really have those at cornerback anyway. Maybe at linebacker, a la Takeo Spikes, but I don't really see him coming back. I'll admit, and on another page, I'm a bigger fan of Antoine Cason than a lot of people. He obviously makes a lot of mistakes. He's great with the ball in his hands. But, I'm a little bit puzzled as to why we haven't tried to make a move to get him locked up.
Yeah, I mean, with Anton Cason, I have to admit there's been times where I've been frustrated, and maybe that's because he gets picked on more because, let's be honest, Quentin Jammer shuts down the opposing receivers 9 times out of 10, so, Cason is the one that gets picked on a lot of times.
Right, he gets the majority of the balls thrown his way, and, I haven't been the biggest fan of Antoine Cason. I liked him coming out of Arizona. I thought he was a studly, long, lanky kid, very, very quick. He can cover the bigger receivers, which I love. He kind of reminds me of a Antonio Cromartie type of build, but not as lanky as Cromartie. But speed-wise, Cromartie blows him out of the water. But Antoine Cason he's still learning. He's still developing into a solid corner. I think he has a couple, maybe 2 or 3 years left that he can solidly give us. I don't know. He's not getting that old. So for me, I don't know if you need to just blow out both corners. It's going to be a big off-season topic what we do there, because you don't look at these guys and say, Pro Bowlers. You don't. Well, Quentin Jammer in the heyday, but not anymore. You don't say, man, I don't think we don't have a shutdown corner. Nobody's going to say, man, we just got to really pick on the other guy because the other guy's got this guy locked up. We haven't had that since a Cromartie type in his prime.
So do they sign him to do they sign both of them to a 1-year contract? Do you franchise tag one of them? Do you sign him to a 1-year contract and pick up some people via free agency and or the draft, and just it's competition, man?
Right.
Who earns it? And then from there you make a trade for whoever's not going to make the team, or you release them, or I think there is going to be some stuff that's going to change as far as the secondary.
Well, it's like Booga was pointing out, you got new not ownership, you got new front office coming in here. You don't know why these guys, some of these guys haven't been locked up like you were touching on. I mean, why haven't they signed Vasquez? Why haven't they signed some of these guys? We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen behind closed doors. So that's all going to be determined in the offseason. We know that. But I think some fresh blood in here would be great. I mean, some young rookie studs. If we can get up in the draft somewhere, maybe steal a guy in the second round. And, I'd let Booga touch on that a little more because he knows more about the upcoming corners coming into the draft.
Well, and just to touch real quick, neither one of those guys are going to sign a 1-year deal with anybody. Cason will probably be a pretty big name, not upper echelon, but he'll be somebody that's sought after on the free agent market. Quentin Jammer, let me go back. We're not going to franchise either one of those guys.
No.
Most importantly, because the franchise number, remember, is aggregated from the top 5 cornerbacks in the league. Neither one of those guys are worth that money.
Right.
And there's a possibility we may look towards franchising, maybe even a Vasquez. I hope not. That's another deal that I would hope would get done, and we'll touch on that more when we get to offensive line. But guys that are coming out in the draft, the number 1 corner is D. Milliner out of Georgia. The guy is an extreme athletic specimen. Mm-hmm. He plays both man and zone extremely well. Good with the ball in his hands. He's a guy who makes a lot of plays. The only issue with me as far as he's concerned is he's most likely going to be a top 5 pick. Yeah. As much as it looked or might have looked like we were going to have anywhere from a 7 to even as low as a 5 pick. I don't see that happening. And with the league turning into a passing league or predominantly passing league, I don't see a team in the top 5 not trying to go after him because of what his skill set is. Number 2 on my list for cornerbacks to watch out for, Jonathan Banks from Mississippi State. Again, kind of, and like Justin had said, that Cromartie type build, not as athletic. I mean, Crow, let's face it, he's an extreme athletic freak.
Yeah.
You're not going to find a lot of guys that fit his exact skill set or his athleticism especially.
Right.
But Banks is good. He's good enough in run support. He's good, again, at playing both zone and man. He's probably a top 15 pick. Depends on how the draft plays out, and there's going to be some moves in other front offices and head coaching positions other than ours that are kind of going to help determine what we do with that. And if you were going to take that second round, maybe even as late as a third round guy, David Amerson from NC State here in North Carolina, where I'm at.
Right.
In 2011, he led the NCAA with 13 interceptions, long, lanky guy. Now, he's gotten exposed this year, but there are some opportunities to get some game-changing guys in this upcoming draft. And it depends on what we want to address first under this new regime that's going to come in.
Right. Hey, Booga, we're going to take a call right now. We got a guy named Dave Peters from Tucson, Arizona on the phone with a question for us. Hey, Dave, you're on.
Boy, that guy sounds familiar.
You're on San Diego Sports Junkies, Dave. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Good, man. What's your question?
I got a good question. I got a little statement here. Number one, I want to thank you for letting me call in, answering a call in here.
Thank you.
You guys do a great service to the sports fans and all of the San Diego sports teams in the mix over there. Enjoy your show a lot.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, and a little bit of a statement here. In the end of this cardiac season, we were all of us over here that are absent and can't watch games and whatnot in the San Diego market. Sort of lockdown in Tucson. We like that 34-24 thing. But with 3 games to play at this moment in time, we're left to die of curiosity as we wait to see what happens the day after we defeat Oakland, and more importantly, and what will befall the Bolts amid all these huge changes in this critical upcoming off season.
Right.
But whatever comes our way in this next season, whatever it might be, change is good.
Right.
And a careful attention to the word change. But I'm tremendously excited, as many people are, about the new opportunities to come for the Chargers in the next season. Look out, Denver, and go Chargers. Here's my question for you, for anyone there. I'd like to know, based on your impressions out there, what we can expect from Philip Rivers under new leadership. For example, is he yet in a position can he rise above playing beyond a mistake-prone game? And what do you feel the organizational changes that will come up, what would they likely do for Philip Rivers in particular?
Well, what I think, Dave, personally is a lot of it has to do with the offensive line. I mean, I truly believe that Philip Rivers is our quarterback for the apparent future. I think that we need a lot of help on the offensive line via free agency and or the draft. If we can get those key pieces and give him some time, because you gotta understand, at least our offense currently is down the field passing team, and you can't do that on a 3-step drop. You need to get that 5-7 step drop, let them see his progressions, and be able to get the receiver to get 30-40 yards down the field and open it up. So I think that has a lot to do with it, and I agree with you, that could change with a coach coming in, because as much as we love as fans Philip Rivers, the coach coming in may not. He might see something that we don't as fans, and he might want to make some changes. We had mentioned that coach from Oregon, potentially as a suitor, and Chip Kelly, thank you. And he's a fast-paced kind of offense, and he needs a mobile quarterback. So it really depends.
Lots of different philosophy of the coach.
Right, it has a lot to do with what coach comes in. How much of a fan of Philip Rivers they are, and I think the offensive line is key as well.
Yeah, go ahead, Booga. Touch on that.
Obviously, I'm a staunch Phillip Rivers supporter, and Josh hit it right on the head. It boils down to getting an offensive line in there that can give him the time it takes for the route progressions to kind of adjust and get into the mix. Now, this is where it kind of goes back to the new regime that comes in and the new head coach and hopefully new GM as well. Are they going to run a system similar to that because we have kind of long speed guys? You know, Floyd is not a 0 to 60 guy, but he can run a bit. Denario Alexander, although he's not quite as physical as VJ, he is physical, but he's a little bit faster than Vincent Jackson. So he's kind of like you guys had said, that Vincent Jackson 2.0. I would expect any head coach possibility that is looking for a job in the NFL is going to be a little bit excited about having a quarterback the level in the caliber of Phillip Rivers, and add that to the defense that we have.
Right.
Plug in some pieces on the offensive line, which hopefully isn't going to be which could be four new bodies. Pardon me.
Right.
But I would think that people would kind of rally around the fact that if I'm the head coach of the San Diego Chargers, I've got 17 who's going to be out there leading me on the field and keeping everybody in line, and hopefully, feeling a little more comfortable behind a rebuilt offensive line.
Yeah, just to touch quickly, I agree with you. I mean, I don't think our big change in the offseason is going to be Phillip Rivers. You got to keep your franchise quarterback here. That's our boy. He's a $100 million boy. He's earned the right to have that contract. He has played shiesty this year at times. We know that. But like we're touching on, man, just get the pieces around him. Yeah. Get some solid guys in here. Make the necessary changes to make Phillip as successful as possible.
As comfortable as possible.
Yeah, because he is the slowest quarterback in football. He is the slowest quarterback in football. He's a drop back and pass thrower. If he has to run, we are closing our eyes and we are hiding under a couch. It's that bad. I mean, we have to, we have to get guys in here that can contribute to him, and we all know that. And the defense is getting better. We add some pieces there. We go out some free agency, cut ties with guys we probably wouldn't think we'd cut ties with. We might have to. There's going to be a lot of change off season. So on that note, I think we just full steam ahead with Phillip, but put the pieces around him and make it happen.
Booga, we got a couple more minutes on your segment. What else can we expect via the secondary? Any other free agents that we could have coming in? Do you have anything else to add?
The one name that sticks out to me, I guess, and then I'll keep it short, Nnamdi Asomugha, who, former Raider, is most likely going to be a former Eagle. He's a guy that is going to come in looking for another opportunity after a dismal couple years with Philadelphia. That's a name that you might keep an eye on. The guy, he was out of place in the system that Juan Castillo was calling there in Philadelphia, and Todd Bowles, has taken over as the defensive coordinator there in Philadelphia.
Man, do they miss Jim Johnson?
There was a lot to really change or help to adapt him to become more successful. As far as free agency, that'd be the one name that I'd kind of pick out. I guess the other thing is, and then I'll ask you guys this, do you guys think, Marcus Gilchrist has looked really strong the last couple games,
I love Gilchrist,
and I'm really excited about what he's going to do. And then if you look at the preseason, Sharice Wright, he was balling out, and he looked fantastic, and then he got hurt on that first kickoff coverage play. Are you guys comfortable if we try to put them in and slate them in as our starters at corners next year?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready just yet. I don't think I've seen enough to have them as the starters, but in nickel and dime situations, we're going to need more coverage in the secondary. Absolutely. Yeah. I think they still have a lot to prove as far as being the set in stone starters, and the the OTAs and all the preseason, all that will kind of answer some of those questions, right? Bearing if again that coach, whoever he may be, wants to go that route. Again, he might bring in his own people. Who knows?
Right.
We don't know really what's going to happen. There's a lot of question marks moving forward.
Yeah, I definitely think you go outside and you get a decently. Okay, you get a guy that's been in the league like an Asante Samuel type or a Nnamdi Asomugha type of guy. Those are kind of guys you can bring in maybe for a discounted rate because they're not as high echelon as they used to be, but they're still serviceable corners and they're still Studley in a cover corner.
Yeah, we know the talent's there.
Quick shout out, guys. Dan Locke via Twitter. He wanted us to shout out to the Bolt fam.
Hey, Dan.
Yep, we wanted to shout out to the Bolt fam to vote for Cyphers and Stuckey to get on NFL.com. To make your votes for Cyphers and Stuckey, and I believe he's voting for Stuckey because of the special teams play
Correct.
that he's had this year. He's been stellar on special teams. Rick Bisaccia, his group has got those guys motoring. I really like that group. I think it's well deserved, and I think we need to put our votes in for it. So Dan Locke, thanks for the Twitter feed, and then we got one quick question from Double D05 in the chat room. He said, would you guys agree that AJ drafts flashy players that have a 1 big play and a 5 bad play kind of mentality, or a consistent, reliable draft player? So do you think he gets more of the flashy guys that can give you the 1 big play, or do you think he gets reliable guys that you can plug in there every play?
For me, if I were to take that question, I'd say it's more that he drafts a flashy position that is capable of making that play that stands out, and then possibly having the 5, poor plays, as he said.
As history's shown us.
AJ's taken an offensive lineman in the second round once, and other than that, we haven't taken an O-lineman, that's going to make an impact in the early portions of his drafts. And it's frustrating when a lot of different fans or couch GMs would like to see a player that's going to just get in there and make a difference that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. He's right. I'd like to see somebody brought in that isn't up there putting up touchdowns, that's allowing us to score touchdowns, or in our case, allowing Phillip Rivers to make plays.
Right. Booga, as always, man, it's such a pleasure to have you on the show. I'm really going to enjoy this new element that San Diego Sports Junkies is bringing to the table with you included. You're going to be here next Friday, actually this Friday, in about 3 days.
He'll be here in 36 hours.
Can you give our viewers an idea of what to expect when you're sitting next here to Justin and I?
Well, I expect it to be a long-winded show. I expect that we're going to have, I know, I don't have to expect this. There's going to be some opportunities for some of the people that have participated in this show and that are going to participate in our next show on Friday. I'm going to be giving away 5 Chargers players' autographed football cards.
Woo!
And we're also going to have a Chargers helmet fathead. Retails about $100 that we're going to give away just for the best questions, and people who are avid supporters of the show, and that do it by making sure that everybody else knows that this is something that if you're in San Diego, or if you're not and you love San Diego sports, not only do you get to catch up on all the things that you might not be hearing, you'll get reinforcement on some of your own ideas, and you'll have conversation pieces for when you're doing other things that keep you going San Diego sports-wise. So I would encourage all people to call in and get a shot at winning some pretty cool stuff. I've got a Stan Humphries autograph card. I've got a Marion Butts autograph card. I've got a Legion autograph card and a couple other ones. And then again, the Charger Fathead to give away to people just for tuning in and being a help out to the show and supporting the show and doing what they can to have their voice be heard on a show for the fans, by the fans.
Yeah, and that's...
You got it, buddy.
We appreciate that so much, man. And just to throw it out there for all the viewers, too, we're going to be a Charger, 100% Chargers on Friday. We're not doing anything else. We're not doing Padres,
Aztecs.
Bolt
up, baby. Bolt
we're
up.
We're bolting up for you, and this is your show Friday, I should say. Friday night. We're going to do it, I think, around 7 o'clock. Same time.
Same place.
Station. Same bat channel, same bat tune, everything else. But we definitely appreciate you, Booga. You've been a great supporter of our show, and you definitely contribute your insight, and we all love it, man. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot for having me, guys. Can't wait to be there on Friday. Going to be a great time. And that caller that called in, his name's familiar, by the way, because that was my father.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for calling in, Dad. We love that you support the show.
Yeah, and Booga, have fun up on the moon. You look like you're.
You can go ahead and say it's on top of the couch pillows,
you look
man.
like
I had to raise myself up to be at the level of such great sports hosts such as you two.
Well, I'm just glad that you recognize it.
So do you like pee in your suit up there, or you just go you just go anywhere because it's like you're just floating around and stuff?
I let it fly. I'm that guy. I'm kind of laid back. I'm not worried about it. You know what? I peed on myself before. Not a big deal.
Hey, watch out for meteorites.
Hey, Booga, well, we appreciate it as always, buddy. We'll see you in a couple days, and we'll continue this Charger talk.
Thanks a lot, guys. Look forward to the segment. Really glad I just said that on air. Have a good one, fellas.
All right,
Later,
buddy.
Booga.
Later.
See ya.
So that was Booga P, sports writer from BoltBeat.com. He's going to be in here from week to week giving us his insight. And as always, we appreciate it, Booga.
Yes, sir.
We're going to dive into what me and Justin want to badly talk about, and that's Aztec basketball. The Aztecs are 7-1. They lost the first game to Syracuse in the Battle of the Midway. Since then, we've been just on fire. We've won 7 in a row, 18th in the AP poll, 15th in the coaches poll, and we literally were burning down the house that Fisher built with the 84-70 win over UCSB. They've just been really, really exciting to watch.
Yeah, for the 5th to 6th year in a row under Fisher. We're growing accustomed to this, Josh. I mean, we're excited to watch them every Tuesday to Saturday to Friday night, whatever day they're playing. We tune in, we get home, we want to sit there with a soda and have a good time watching our Aztecs because they're really exciting.
A soda, huh?
Well, a soda, that's what I call them. But, as far as the season's going, they're playing great as a cohesive unit right now. They're really gelling together quickly. I like the pieces that Fisher's putting into place. He's mixing in the young with the old, the veterans. They're really doing some great things with the lineups. They're playing fast. They're doing fast breaks. They can play big on you if they want to. They can really slow down the pace and do a guard-oriented offense and swing the ball. Playing from the arc, man, Tapley, Rayhan, they've just been on fire the last few weeks, and it's been fun to watch, man. It's really been fun to watch.
Well, and one big thing, too, is their defense. And, it doesn't look like it sometimes by the stat sheets. Like this most recent game against UCSB, it was 84-70.
Right.
They give up 70 points, but keep in mind they dominated that game.
Right.
And
final score doesn't indicate what they really did.
They put in their third stringers,
right,
let's say, and UCSB went on a 12-0 run.
Right.
Made it look a lot closer than it really was.
That's a show of respect too. That's not
right. And that's Fisher for you. You're never going to see us run it up to 90, 100 points. I mean, if we're in a shootout, we have no choice. But you're never going to see them blow out a team by 30, 40 points. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it happens. The other opposing team just doesn't have the shots, and we're making everything.
Right.
I mean, it happens. But, you're talking about our offense. That game against UCSB, we had 5 players in double figures.
Ridiculous. Shooting
55.8% from the floor and 64.7% from three-point line.
Lights out, man.
I said 64.7% from the arc.
Three land.
That is incredible.
I mean, you're almost hitting 70%. That's retarded.
That just doesn't happen.
Wow.
And if we can continue to shoot at that kind of a pace with our defense, with our bigs,
rebounding,
our rebounding, absolutely, we're going to be tough to beat. And Chase Tapley, in that game, he went 7 for 11 from the floor, 6 of 8 from 3-point land, and 23 points. And
23.
And I know everybody's on Jamal Franklin, and he's Mountain West Player of the Year last year. But you guys better watch out for Chase Tapley because this guy can shoot, and he can arguably put this team on his back and carry us for a long ways.
He can, and he has before. I love watching Chase play because even if he has a defender in his face, guarded up right in his grill, he will step back. He will do his normal shot. He doesn't seem like he's ever fazed by a hand or anything. He's just so composed. And when we need a big bucket, we can rely on Chase Tapley. That guy is smoother than silk. It's like he doesn't blink. He's such a senior. He's such a pro in college terms. To me, he's one of those guys you just get him the ball. He's like a Franklin. If you need a bucket, you need to get to the hole, you give it to Jamal Franklin. If you need a 3-pointer, if you need a big if you need to just run your offense and get a bucket, you get the ball to him. He's just been money this year. He's going to continue to get better. He's one of those guys that needs a star watch for the star watch type of player. You need to watch him every game. He scores double figures every game. He moves the ball well. He's good in assist. All around, Chase Tapley's just a great player for us.
He is a great player, and we don't want to forget names like Deshaun Stevens. J.J. O'Brien. I mean, these guys, they might not show up in the stat sheets as far as putting 23 points up, but I guarantee they're going to give it 125% on the defensive end.
Yeah.
They're going to block shots. They're going to pull down the boards.
Yeah, their 10 boards will show up, though.
Yeah, they're gonna take care of the paint.
Right.
And J.J. O'Brien specifically, we knew what we had in Deshaun Stevens. We saw it last year, but J.J. O'Brien, this is the first time we really got to catch him, and he's impressed me a lot.
Right, and J.J. O'Brien comes from Utah as a transfer. We all knew what kind of skill set he had. People in Utah raved about him. He made the choice to come down here and sit out a year, and it's paying dividends this season for the Aztecs. I mean, the depth of the team right now is fine, but then you're going to add a guy like James Johnson here against Point Loma Nazarene, a game that we should. I don't even want to know the final score of that game. We should win by 40, but I don't know if we will. But this guy, he's 6'11", very lanky, athletic. So what we're trying to get to is we got Deshaun Stevens, J.J. O'Brien. Now you throw in a James Johnson. It couldn't come in as more perfect time, Josh, with James Johnson coming into the fold with JJ and Deshaun, because he's going to get into the mix right before conference play. And conference play, as we know, is huge. You're going to run into ranked teams like New Mexico, UNLV, borderline teams on the top 25, Wyoming. Also, Colorado State, yes. All playing good ball.
Boise, who knocked off Creighton.
Yes, Boise. If you look at our division, there's very little losses in our loss columns for the Mountain West Division. Incomparable. I mean, it's one of those divisions you're going, wow, this is very impressive. And conference play is going to be heated and just turned up a notch. It's going to be fun to watch.
Absolutely. And conference play is right around the corner. I mean, first up, we got UCSD in the Battle of San Diego. We play them every year.
Always
Last year we played it at the Torero's house. This year it's at Viejas Arena. That's going to be a huge game. That's December 15th at 7 o'clock. That's going to be a good tune-up. They've always played us tough.
Well, yeah.
And then, like you said, we play
Point Loma Nazarene. And that's on the 18th, I believe.
Right. And then we're on to arguably the biggest part of our non-conference schedule, and that's the Diamond Head Classic.
Yeah.
That's going to be in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Right.
We're going to face San Fran in the first game. We could face Ole Miss or Indiana State in the second game, and if we win that, which most people are projecting us to go to the finals, we could meet up against number 8th in the nation ranked Arizona.
Right. It could set up very well for us. I mean, this is a kind of tournament that there's two collision courses coming. You got one good team on one side, and you got San Diego State on the other. Arizona's a fabulous team. When I looked at the schedule, I was looking at the teams that were in it. I go, well, holy cow, we could possibly meet up with ranked Arizona, and that would just be another, if we could get the win.
Another notch in the belt.
Yeah, let's not, put it out. I mean, I'm not going to say we're going to kill Arizona or we're going to win by any means. They're a great team. They're one of the best recruiting classes in the nation came in with them. But as far as the team I'm watching for the Aztecs, I think we can handle Arizona, especially on a neutral court in Maui or Honolulu. That would be a huge win for the Aztecs, and that's just another notch on the belt, like Josh had said, and that just gives us a little more pub in the polls, puts us right into the I would say if we won that, it'll shoot us right in the top 10 heading into conference play, and just give us that notch that we need and a little momentum heading into some tougher games.
Right, and Justin and I were talking about it. We got UCSD, we got Point Loma Nazarene, we got the Diamond Head Classic, then we play a couple more non-conference,
Lollipops.
cakewalks,
lollipops,
if you may say.
Right.
We could easily go on a 14-15 game run heading into conference play.
Before.
And I would not be surprised if we're not in the top 10. We should be right on the heels of the top 10 going into conference play. We play, I want to say, is it Colorado or Wyoming, and then then UCLA comes to our house. I think those are right around the 3 games that we start off in conference play.
Yeah.
But right off the bat, we got UCLA and New Mexico coming into our house.
Not UNLV. Sorry.
What did I say?
UCLA. Yeah.
My apologies.
We already knocked them off like we should have.
Right. So UNLV, who's
Vegas.
currently ranked, I think 20th, and then you have New Mexico, who's ranked 16th, I believe, in the nation. They're going to be coming to our house first, and then later in the conference schedule we go to their house, which is always tough to play.
Oh yeah. You know what I have to say about the Rebels? Nothing, because I hate them. And nothing good comes from them. They're the evil rival of the Aztecs. We've grown to love and hate playing them because they've knocked us off a few times. It's kind of just a rivalry between fans now. I love the UNLV matchup because it's one of those. It's like Raiders Chargers to me.
Right.
It's the passion of the fans. Vegas hates San Diego. San Diego hates Vegas. They've got a top recruiting class. We've got a top recruiting class. We've got tradition. They've got tradition. So you know what I'm saying. It's one of those games you get pumped up for. Like we were touching on, this division's so tough this year. Going into the pit isn't easy. We didn't really touch on that, but Tony Snell down there, one of their star players, played with Jamal Franklin in high school. He's lighting it up. They got some great players down there as well. This whole conference, man, it's not. You know how like we're playing these non-conference games right now. We're going win. Once it comes conference, I'm not checking off any of them as wins because
they're all going to be dogfights.
Right, it's just like an AFC West battle. You never know what could happen on that Sunday because they're playing so hard, man. It's just like I want to beat the crap out of them. So
right, and when Justin's touching on with the fans, UNLV and the show. Last year we went into UNLV, and days before we went into UNLV, the show paid for a billboard right outside of their
arena, Thomas and Mack Center,
saying, the show Aztecs are coming, so on and so forth. So it's a huge rivalry, and that's going to be an exciting game to watch in the near future.
Right.
I'm really excited to see what this team does in conference play, and hopefully well, because I'd like to get a high seeding going into the March Madness.
Right, and we just got a kind of a tweet from the chat room here. It's a doubled 05 says F UNLV and BYU. So we have a strong San Diego State supporter in there.
We have to agree with you there.
I agree with you. Doubled 05. You are the man. F them and F BYU because we're going to kill them in the Poinsettia Bowl.
I was going to say, speaking of BYU, right. The Aztec football, who just missed the top 25, they were 26th in the nation, is going to be playing BYU in the Poinsettia Bowl.
There you go.
We win that, and hopefully handedly, there's an opportunity for us to get in the top 25 to finish off the season.
I agree, and if we do win there, if we get that big win at the bowl game, I don't see any reason why not. Top 25, and to say the Aztecs football team will be ranked in the top 25. This program, man, I'm telling you guys, for people out there watching, have been a long-time Aztecs supporter, and just San Diego sports in general from the Marshall Falk days, Don Coryell was coaching there. I mean, a long-time supporters. I mean, now is just crazy time to be an Aztec fan. So kudos to all of them and the fans out there that support them, and it's just been fun to watch.
We're going to talk a little bit of Padres really quick here. Padres fans, let's be honest, we were extremely excited with the new owners coming in. The O'Malleys, they've won championships in the past. They spend money. We got this new TV deal from Fox Sports West who's bringing in additional money. Fans are a little frustrated in the fact that ownership hasn't done anything to this point. I mean, the NL West is making moves. The Diamondbacks made another move tonight, making a huge trade. The Dodgers have made some huge pickups. The Giants are only getting better, and they got 2 rings in the last 3 years.
Pickups.
Management is stating that we are happy with our current roster. To a point, I can agree with them. We have some up-and-coming studs that can help this team, but if there's room for improvement via offensively or with the pitching rotation, the fans are ready to see this happen because everybody except for maybe Colorado is making the moves to try to win this division, and right now they were better than us last year, and if they continue to make these moves, they're going to continue to pull away from us, and we need to narrow that gap.
Very, very frustrating, Josh. I mean, all we heard in the offseason was new ownership, cool. We were so excited. We have done absolutely nothing. Nothing. And people were talking about it today on the radio, too. They're frustrated. They're very I mean, Jason Marquis, your big signing for the year? Man. I mean...
It's like a typical Padres play, too, is they go into the first day of the winter meetings, and the first name you hear is Jason Marquis signed by the Padres to a 1-year contract.
Yeah, and it's just frustrating. There's guys out there you could have potentially signed. I know they don't want to spend $100 million. I'm not asking you to spend $100 million.
I don't think they should. I mean, that contract that the Dodgers gave Greinke, like 6 years, $147 million, is ridiculous.
The Dodgers just exceeded $250 million for their 2013 payroll. I think the Padres are going to come close to that.
No, but I still think the Padres are a better team, and that's just my opinion. Well, I mean, granted, they've spent all this money, but I think they have a lot of issues with having so many big-name players, and I see it time and time again. You have those teams with the Yankees try to buy a championship every year, and it doesn't always get them what they paid for.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They're the Yankees of the West Coast now, and Magic Johnson was quoted as saying, "We're here to win." And that's by any means. And I like that attitude. If I had a $300 million payroll for the Padres, I wouldn't be complaining. Me and you'd be talking about Zach Greinke, Adrian Gonzalez, Hanley Ramirez. I mean, these are huge names. I mean, they have an all-star at every position. We don't have many of those. We have a third baseman all-star, Chase Headley. It's demoralizing for me. There's some good guys out there. I was hoping they'd pick up some early pitchers. Like Dan Herron was one of the top guys for me on my list. I'm like, Dan Herron's a stud. He went and signed with I don't even know who he signed with now.
Who cares? It wasn't with us.
Yeah, I put together 3 guys that I'm still interested in that would be serviceable for the Padres. I could see an Edwin Jackson type guy coming. The same regime that manages the Padres, Josh Burns, had him as a player in Arizona. That'd be a decent fit. He gives you innings. He's a solid starter. He doesn't get hurt too often. Another guy we bring back is maybe Aaron Harang. I don't think he's going to hang around over L.A. after the new Yankees look coming in.
Well, and he had a solid season for us 2 years ago.
Exactly.
And we didn't have the offensive production, so he could do even better.
Right. And one more guy on the radar that I don't know if he's huge pickup or Daisuke Matsuzaka, a very serviceable guy. He can come in and give you innings. He's already expressed interest in Petco Park. He wants to kind of revamp his career a little bit, which I wouldn't have a problem with. He's a perennial starter. He can start for any major league team. So those are guys I'm still trying to keep my eye on. But man, you read any of the rumor boards and nothing. There is nothing out there, Josh. And
yeah, it's frustrating. I mean, and management has said, they're happy with our current roster, and I think that's more from a offensive standpoint and 8 of the 9 players that you'll see on the field. But they are actively looking for pitching prospects to come in.
They are.
They're not going to make stupid signings such as 6 years, $147 million. Don't expect that. But I mean, I don't see it's unreasonable to pay somebody $10 million a year to get a nice starter like an Edwin Jackson or a Harang. A Harang will probably cost you
$6 million.
$6 million a year.
That's fine.
A couple things, a couple players you need to pay attention to, and Justin and I know them, and some of the diehard Padre fans out there might know them. We have a couple prospects that really could help us not only offensively but defensively. Immediately,
right.
Exactly. And
prospect.
Number 1 prospect is Reimer Liriano. He could make the opening day roster in right field. The guy is a flat-out stud. He stole 32 bases in 127 games. He batted .280. The other prospect is Jed Jerko, and I know you guys have heard us talk about that in past shows. Jed Jerko has been playing a lot of second base, because Chase Headley is cementing himself at third base. Jed Jerko in 126 games batted .311 with 30 home runs and 100 RBIs. That is production. Even if we see 75% of that major league level, can dramatically change our offensive production.
Yeah, these are types of guys that can come in and give you immediate impact, as we touched on. These are guys that have already been regarded as pro big-time major leaguers that can come up here and maybe do some damage. We just haven't seen it yet. That'll give them spring training to get a look at them, and that'll give them early on in the season. If they're happy with them, they'll stay up here because we're obviously not making any moves. Reimer Liriano, to me, would be an upgrade in right field or maybe left field, whatever, depending on what they want to do there. It's speed, like he said, hits for average, which is perfect for Petco Park. And then also highly touted Jed Jerko, killing AAA Tucson like it's his backyard at home with a wiffle ball. 30 home runs, that's ridiculous.
In 127 games.
In 127 games. And this guy just needs to come up and play, and he needs to prove his worth up at the majors now, and it's time. It's their time. So these guys would be very instant upgrades for the Padres, and guys maybe we can count on in the future here. So that being said, overall aspect of the Padres, it's kind of a downer right now, but there's a lot of good things looking up. Like Josh said, I'm not unpleased with our roster. I think we have a great core of young talent. I didn't think we needed to go out and spend a bunch of money to be competitive, because the second half of the year we're one of the best teams in baseball. So for me, just touching on all that, Padres are going to be in a good position next year regardless. They just need another starting pitcher, and I hope they get one soon.
Yeah, I think it's more of the healthy side. I mean, we got a lot of injuries in that starting pitching, and we have a lot of people that we're wondering, when they're coming back. Will they be the same when they come back? So,
right. Just for a quick sec, I wanted to give some shout-outs to the chat room. They've been watching patiently. Some questions. We wanted to thank Chili Peace, doubled 05, and then who do we got here? The Raider Hater. He's in there again.
The Raider Hater.
Yeah, and I think Steve's back in. He did his fresh off his fantasy show. S. Collins 619. Big shout out to you. And then also Booga P. And we wanted to remind you guys out there too. Booga P will be interviewing Kevin Acey this weekend. If any fans have any questions, be sure to tweet us or to LB Host Twitter. Any of our accounts, our Sports Junkies page. If you have anything that you want Kevin Acey to hear from you, or a question from the fans, let us know. Tweet us, email us, call in next week, whatever you got to do. Just get the question in there, and he will do his best to get it to him.
Yeah, you can send it to Booga P directly at Booga P.
Right.
You can go on to boltbeat.com. He's got an article on boltbeat.com. You can put your question on there as well. He's going to be a great addition to this team, and I think there's a lot of good things moving forward. You guys are really going to enjoy what we have moving forward. And don't forget, we're going to be on here at Friday at 7 o'clock here
for
again.
A special edition show.
Justin.tv/SD Sports Junkies, talking all Chargers for the entire hour. So, feel free to tune in. Tweet us over the next couple days if you have any questions. Call into the show. We're going to be giving away some great prizes, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, let's call it the Chargers Lightning Hour.
Right.
I like that. Chargers Lightning Hour. Make sure you tune in Friday at 7. We really appreciate all your guys' support. We had a great show tonight with Booga, and it's going to even be a lot more funner. It's be a lot better next weekend or Friday when he's sitting right here with us, giving us more insight to the Charger world, and we couldn't be more happier with his contributions.
Absolutely. Want to thank all you guys for tuning in Justin TV land. Thanks for all your Twitter questions. We want to thank Dave Peters Sr. for calling into the show. Booga P, as always, for your assistance. Guys, this is the San Diego Sports Junkies, a show for fans.
By the fans.
And my name's Josh Taylor. I'm with Justin Speed, and we are out.
See you guys.